cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their picks are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title 4 says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up, everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallets. Come on, sing it! We all think it won't be us. We say when they come, we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You will no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken. God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. Oh, the Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by Tic-Tac together. We are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with hot speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come, picking you off one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are on Nintendo's. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior. Yeah. And we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen away too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. I stop. Hey, yeah. Ooh, I stop.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. We're just waiting on Darren. I'm sure his buttons aren't working again tonight. You want to say hi? Just wave. There he was. Now he's gone. There he is. Now he's gone. Are you staying this time?
Almost was out of breath.
Oh.
I'm here. Here I am. Coming to the stopping.
I said the buttons must not be working again.
Oh, they've been pushing my buttons today. That's for damn sure.
Well, I can only imagine.
Yeah. So, I just don't understand. It doesn't matter what we doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what we try to do. It always seems like the law doesn't work on our side. It just seems like no matter what, they have the upper hand. Doesn't matter how much we study, how much we learn, what we try to go for. It just seems like every goddamn time they come and they stump us on something else, or they just create something new to put into place for us. It just sucks. It sucks to hear these people's stories about, you work so hard on doing this, and that, and then they lose, or damn well that you've prepared these briefs and you've done all of these things for educational purposes only. Make these people solid in their cases, and then they lose. And you think, how on earth could this possibly have happened? You can't take into place corruption. You can't take corruption out of. You can't make up for it. That's what really makes things hard. Anyway, that was my thoughts for today.
Did you finish your book?
I finished the book of it. Yes, we can discuss it today. The Tree of Fraud.
Amazon.
Yep.
You just got to tell me what page you go to.
You got your book today?
Yeah, look.
All right. So, I guess let's start with the final epilogue.
Okay, hold on. I'm almost there.
All right.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
168.
That's 168.
Yeah. And it says this. It says, who had the authority to act? Not who acted first, not who enforced hardest, not who prevailed procedurally. Authority either existed or it did not. If it existed, the law stands. If it did not, no amount of procedure, time, or enforcement can make it real. This is the enduring rule the Constitution preserves, and the maxims of law repeat across centuries. Power taken without permission carries consequences, not because of judgment, but because of design. The Tree of Fraud does not ask readers to distrust courts. It asks them to understand what makes courts legitimate in the first place. Authority before power, jurisdiction before enforcement, law before convenience. That's not a theory, it is the rule. And that sums it all up right there. That sums the whole damn court, the whole court system and the whole court process up. So, you know, how many people have these things that these things don't exist? How many people have been shanghaied in these family courts? How many people lost their kids because of the court systems not being accurate or correct the way that they're supposed to be? You know? I mean, it's right here in black and white, in paper. It says it. It says what it's supposed to be. And not that this is a Black's Law Dictionary, but I'm pretty sure it's just quoting the way that the laws are written and how they're supposed to be upheld. You know, and that is the most important thing in the courtroom. But the question is, if you ask under what authority, they're going to hold you in contempt. If you challenge it, they'll probably hold you in contempt, screwing you out of the courtroom. There's all of these things that go against you when you ask that question.
Yeah, but that's one of the problems. Nobody is asking the question.
Because they're too afraid to. Of the penalties, that's where the problem lies. So I guess that goes back, like we discussed earlier today and yesterday. Where the hell are these sheriffs? Because the sheriffs are the ones that are supposed to be in that courtroom ensuring that this is what's going on. What this book says is what's happening. They're the ones that are supposed to be upholding. They're the ones that are supposed to be here for us in our constitutional rights. They're the ones that are supposed to, if the judge is out of line, take that judge down a notch. They're the only ones that have the authority to do such stuff. And these sheriffs that we have now in these courts with us are just sitting there powwowing with the judge talking about going to hunting camp this weekend. They're not bailiffs. They're not doing their jobs. They're in there kissing the feet of the judges. That's what they're doing. They're not paying attention 1 minute. How many times you watch Judge Judy or one of them that the judge makes the bailiff laugh at someone, like, hey, Tom, this guy's really a nut job. Why is he laughing at that? He shouldn't be laughing. He should be telling that judge, hey, judge, don't speak about these people like that. They're not, you know what I mean? But it's up to the people that take the roles of the sheriff. So when you guys have the next time to elect a sheriff, you ask that sheriff, are you going to stand up to these judges in the courtrooms? Ask them that question. Ask them if they even know that that's what's part of their role of being an elected official in that capacity. They're supposed to have a militia. They're supposed to be the ones that lead a militia. They are the last defense line that we have as Americans. That is our last defense. And we've already lost it. I hate to say it. It's gone. So we need to somehow bring it back.
Yeah. And just so that everybody knows, you don't have to have any qualifications except votes to become a sheriff.
Look at that. Tammy says sheriff. Sheriff wasn't in any room that she was in. Probably not. They don't know their damn jobs. And it doesn't matter, Tammy. It was 30 years ago. This goes back to the. Here's another fire flashback. I was just gonna go grab my my fucking handbook that I don't have anymore. Oh my God, what's the book? The Sheriff's Manual. The Sheriff's Anderson Sheriff's whatever. I'll print another one out someday. But in there it says, like that tells you the roles and what the sheriffs are supposed to do. And that's why the void ab initio is supposed to work, because a void order is a void order. A void order is void ab initio. It's void from the start. That means that anything that came from that void order is non-existent. Anything that comes through that whole existence of time that it goes back to is no good. And that means that the sheriffs are supposed to enforce that.
The sheriffs are even supposed to be looking at warrants that come across his desk, because if they're unconstitutional, they can't be enforced.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, here we are. The book even says, even though they're not enforceable, they're enforcing stuff.
Yeah, they are. And that's my handbook. My house blew up March 1st. My studio blew up, and then my house burnt down because of that. So all of my handbooks, all of my papers for years and years burnt up, Tammy. That's what happened to that. But that ending rule in this final epilogue of this book is you can't. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any more right and more perfect. It doesn't say it in any better way, except for the fact that we don't get that in these courts. We don't get that treatment. These judges look at us as piss-ons. We discuss them. You can see it where they're vile. Like you can see when you go into that courtroom, you can see the judges. Like how they look at you, and they're like, it's sickening. And you're in there fighting for your life for the death penalty and civil procedure, meaning termination of parental rights. The last thing you need to see is some piece of shit judge sitting there going, psh, you're not worth the malarkey you came in here on. That's what you don't need to see. And then bring that to light. How is it that these judges can be along with you in your whole family court case and be unbiased when it comes to a TPR? How does that make any sense?
They're supposed to be recusing themselves. If they had any contact with you other than your case now or a case that they've continued, they're supposed to recuse themselves because they have personal knowledge
of refutable evidence. And they won't step down. They don't step down. I know people. Well, I hear in Gunner's case that they were able to get Sharon's judge to finally step down, which she should have. That woman was terrible. But that's like the first occurrence that I've ever heard of a judge actually stepping down because they've been recused. I know we tried to recuse our judge. She just laughed at us. Well, how are you going to sit there and laugh at us when you've heard a restraining order with me and the caseworker in it out of the state's capacity? How are you going to sit here and listen to this case fairly? How are you going to listen to this case fairly when you've been along this whole entire ride, listening to irrefutable evidence? How are you going to do that? Well, she says, and the best part is she ruled from the bench on that decision. That cracks me up. So you got to rule on your own recusal from the bench. That's cracked me up. These judges are just out of control.
They are out of control. And the one thing that I did like about this book, not only were they teaching us about void orders and due process and all that, they actually put in here a thing about Chevron and how to use it, because I had a judge tell one of my parents, "Oh, that only applies to federal." Well, no, it doesn't. If it applies to federal, it applies to the state, right? So CPS cannot continue to make their assumptions on their policies versus what the law says, right? Because that's what they're supposed to go by now, the law. But they don't believe that it applies to them.
Look at right here. It says, right. So, I didn't even realize that this was here. Right here it states, and I started to jump off your subject. Let me write this so we'll come back to this. But you're right. The Chevron, now they can no longer say in the courts, they can't say, "Oh, it's my opinion." When they would be like, "Okay, caseworker, what do you think?" They have to go by the law. They can no longer go by the discretion of these alphabet groups, FBI, CIA, DHS, whatever. They can no longer do that. They have to rule on what the law states, and the law states only. And I do believe that it is, I believe that you can use that, the Chevron indifference, you can go back in your case and use that, what's the word I'm looking for? You can use it back in time.
What, to be retroactive?
Yes, retroactive. I believe, don't take my word for it, but I think I'm 99% sure that it is. So if you thought you were going to win your case and your judge said something like, I can see that you're a great parent, but since the department has said this, blah, 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 that's where you would install your rights under the Chevron indifference and say, "Oh, excuse me, Your Honor, you need to rule by the hand of law, not by what the caseworker has come out and recommended for us." So that's very important. I'll look into that a little bit more, whether it's retroactive. I'm pretty sure that it is, because we used that in Gunner's case. And I think we won that one with that. But yeah. So with the void ab initio, it says it right here. Judicial discretion, none. The court must recognize voidness. So this is where I've been saying this for 1,000 years, that the shit doesn't have to be adjudicated. If there is a void order, if there's something that's void from wherever it was in there, you don't have to go to the courts to have it adjudicated. The order is void, and that's it, period. You go there, you file it in your file, you bring that to a sheriff, you say, "Sheriff, look it, this is a void order from the court. It doesn't have to be adjudicated. This is an official notice from the court. You need to uphold this. Let's go get my goddamn child." Yep. And that's that. Oh, Mr. Man, why don't you come in here tonight? You're up and you're here. Why don't you come in, Mr. Osiris? I'm gonna send you a link, my man. Or Tiff, if you want to, I'll do it. You're probably busy right now. But God of Law is in the house, and God of Law needs to come in here and talk some stuff with us.
I can't get into my phone, Erica. It's in my phone. And I'll have to just send them to him unless you want to come on and tell him. But yeah, bring Osiris out for a minute.
Well, I got to get him in here first. So.
Oh, yeah.
So he called you for president. He said, "Tiff Wise for president."
Oh, if I become president, a lot of shit's going to change.
Oh, my. I bet you the living quarters at the White House, I can only imagine what that would be like.
Oh, well, first of all, we're getting a nanny. We're getting a damn nanny.
Yep, that's coming.
And then we're going to have a party every night.
Yeah, like Bill Clinton did that.
I was kidding. King said, "Can we have a party?"
All right, let's see there. All right, Mr. Man is coming at you here. Ooh, service. Amino
Say hi, Darren.
Hey, buddy, my number one fan. Yes.
Yes, he is definitely your number one
I
fan.
do.
He finds you on YouTube all the time.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Martin! Martin! That's awesome. All right, Mr. Osiris, I just sent you the link in your messenger. So if you could join us, that would be wonderful. Tiff would like that.
So the other thing that I want to talk about real quick is all these things, right? There has to be three things, right? We were talking about earlier, and of course, I didn't save the page. God bless America.
And the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, I got it. Subject matter jurisdiction, standing, personal jurisdiction, and due process. Right? If any of those three, even if one is missing, there's no authority. They have no authority. It says any root, if any root is absent, authority never attaches. So how many parents again? Are you done? He said no. How many parents have been denied due process, right? Because part of due process is being heard.
Mm-hmm. All of them. All of them. Every damn one of them.
So if any of those have been violated, it clearly states, hold on, I gotta find it, that time, hold on, I just had it right before I closed the book. Turn it down, King. It says jurisdiction cannot be created by consent, silence, even if you don't say anything in court, right? I hear people say all the time, well, if you don't say anything, that's consent. Actually, no, it's not. A statute alone or an administrative practice. But it also doesn't matter how much time has gone by, because if you're missing the due process under the 5th and the 14th Amendment, then those orders are not valid.
That's right. And that means what, Tiff? What does it mean? They're void. They're void. They're all void. Every damn one of them. So why can't everybody go to these courts and occupy their children back? What's stopping us from that? What is stopping us from just going there?
This even says constitutional rule. Without a rights-bearing complainant, there is no judicial power to exercise.
Right.
So, like, somebody can go say, go get a warrant for you for threatening them, right?
Yeah.
But that's he say, she say. So that's pretty much hearsay without a witness.
Mm-hmm.
So where can CPS come in, even in civil cases, and accuse you of something without a witness, especially on a hotline?
I don't know. But you know what I do know?
What?
Look it up. Look in the house. Oh, bring him back. There he is.
Woohoo!
Mr. Osiris.
What's up, Punisher? What's up, President
How you
Tiff?
doing?
Oh man, I am tired.
Yeah, this is your bedtime, right?
Way past my bedtime. Actually, I talked to Tiff earlier. I took my little nap and got up to do something, and I ain't went back to sleep yet. I saw that you guys was on. I said, let me come on and Tiff, my queen, I love you. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful banner. That was hardcore.
Oh, did it come?
Yeah. Tony got it and wanted to know who sent it. I said, it's my internet wife.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and she said, Tiff, she loves you. Hey, little man, how you doing over there?
I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Do you guys hear the music?
Yeah, I can hear it.
I'm trying to shut it off. I've had a pause. I have it.
Well, you're talking about the famous Chevron deference. That's some hardcore shit. That is some hardcore shit. And the basically the high court said we can't go off our interpretation of the executive agencies anymore. We have to interpret it as the law says it. It's a great doctrine. It really is.
Well, we're talking about it because we've had these administrative hearings, and they're trying. There, it's gone. They're trying to say that the Chevron difference doesn't apply in there. So I found this book, and it said absolutely it does apply.
Oh yeah, listen, federal trumps state, so yeah, it applies in everything the state does.
That's what I said.
And that's what the law says. That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean, regardless of what me and you think or say, that's what the law says. That's what the case law and the judges have ruled. You know what I mean? And actually, we use that a lot in our cases. All right, because basically, you know, interesting. And can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, it's a very, very powerful case law. But unfortunately, you know, again, I'm gonna say this, under Title 4E, they're not judges, they're contractual agents.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So
and
that means what?
well, expressio unius est exclusio alterius. The mention of one thing is the exclusion of another. All right, judges have no business delving in the executive branch's affairs. All right, it clearly states that all branches of government shall be separate and distinct from each other, and no person from one branch shall exercise the duties of another. But the courts, in return for payment, they do it anyway. And the only reason they're getting it, the only reason they're getting away with it is because, you know, people are letting them.
That's just it, right? And that's so. I know that you're a proponent of this, my man. We got to start going out there and doing something about this, right?
Yeah, if you can find some soldiers, but these regular old cowards out here, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. You know, like that's the Donald Trump, I think, has handed us this on a plate, hasn't he? He's been like, here you go, guys. Here's your country back. And all these pussies are just sitting here doing nothing about it.
That, you know, did you ever see the movie Battleship, the new one?
No, I did not see the new one.
With
no.
I think Rihanna was in it. It's not new. It's an older movie. Battleship. You know, the aliens came down. They were in Hawaii, my old hometown, and you know, they were wreaking havoc. But they caught one of the aliens, and what happened was his crew. They had him on the ship, and his crew got on that ship after causing some ruckus, and they came and got their boy. They didn't leave him there. We don't have that in this country.
No camaraderie, none of that.
Fear.
No more.
Cowardice. All right, and excuse me, Tiff. Well, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm about to say. Starts with a P and ends with a Y. And I ain't talking about OPP.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
And I see the little man sitting there, so I got to be mindful. Okay. I know he hears
just a cat. Hey, it's just a cat. It's just a pussy.
Yeah. Well, we already had that discussion because that word came out of his mouth, and he's like, "It just means chicken." I said, "Well, then you say chicken."
I was making some chicken the other day, and my daughter called me. And she said, "Dad, what you doing?" I said, "Make some chicken." She said, "What kind of chicken?" I said, "Breast." She said, "Oh, chicken titties." Yo, how you guys doing, man? How you doing, Punisher?
Hanging in there, doing the best we can. Fighting my own war here for a minute.
Okay. You got ammo. You got rations. You got your spots.
Well, no, I don't anymore because everything burnt up. We lost everything, and what's crazy is you don't realize how much that you lost until you're like, I don't have this. No, I don't have this. No, I don't have this.
I think we've all been there a few times, and again, bro, whatever I can do to help, you know what I'm saying? If I come across some of them extra ends, which are tight these days, but if I come across a couple of boxes full of you goddamn Skippy, I'm gonna send you some.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
No worries,
absolutely,
brother. No worries. And Tiff, second time today, I get to see you, my queen.
Hold on, I gotta address this person right here. If you call CPS on me for smoking in my motherfucking house and they show up to my motherfucking door, okay, they already know there's going to be a problem. So don't say that shit because I'm not the one. I do not play with CPS. I don't even care if it's a joke.
Jiang Kyun, shut the fuck up and go somewhere and do something with yourself. Go clean your bathroom. Ain't nobody paying no. I don't give them that kind of energy. To fuck them.
Yeah. People are gonna just want to be,
indifferent. It's just, listen. It's probably a Fed. Listen. I go live, man, and I you get people to say some really dumb shit like that so-called guy you guys, a few weeks back. They're Feds. They're always want to throw a wrench in this rocket just to distract you and don't pay them people no mind. All right, and
Well, there they go. Boom, block. They just
there you go. It's all gravy.
But yes, it is the second time I talked to you today.
Yes, fortunately for me.
You're the legend.
Tiff, you are my buddy, man. I love you. I love your energy. I love your attitude, and you're great, man. And Punisher, I love you guys. And again, I was telling Tiff earlier, I do apologize. I don't get to participate as much because by the time you guys get on, it's way past my bedtime. And trust me, I am fighting right now. But I went down to get me something to drink, and I saw it popped up on my phone. I said, what the hell? I can sleep. I'll sleep later.
Right? There's plenty of time for sleep
That's
somewhere
it.
else.
Yeah, tomorrow can wait.
That's right. It's going to be here one way or the other. You know what I mean? And if it's not, then I'll see you there.
You know what? Yeah, because I'm gonna be cooking out on the grill in that pit in hell. That's where I'm gonna be. And when I get down there, I'm telling those sleuths like, yo, this is mine. You might as well just go on back up to the earth and deal with them clowns. Yeah. I'm taking over down this piece.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go.
Yeah, well, none are.
Yeah,
none are.
That always cracks me up. People be like, "Oh, well, they're 85. They had a good life." Yeah, well, tell me that when I'm 85 and I'm the one sitting there going to die. I'm not ready to go.
Look here, find me a hot young cutie and send me on my way.
Yeah.
I want to come and go at the same time. I don't care.
That's
if it's
right.
Yeah. What it is. I think one of the biggest issues here, and you guys know I harp on this, is wording. All right, it is absolute wording. I was doing a consultation the other day, and I was reading, and I'm not trying to change the CPS subject, but I just want to bring something to your attention. And I was showing this person how in the federal manual of Title 4D, it says the Social Security number is the key piece of information from which they get their authority. But when I took him to the Black's Laws Dictionary and I showed him the word key, which means an indefinite description of property made certain. So the smallest words could sometimes have the largest meanings. And even these prepositions like in, or around, you know what I mean, the small things that they use. And that's what people need to start doing, is looking at these words. They're very, very important, because y'all know, especially you, Tiff, and you know, Darren, they don't speak the same language. You know, we're sitting here having a conversation. We're speaking English. You know, they speak that legalese. Okay? And that's an entire language in itself. All right. I just happen to speak that as fluent as I speak German. All right. And I'm pretty good at it, you know, after, 40-something years. So, you know, if you've heard me before, like when you say certain words, like, oh, hey.
Hey, whoa.
Because, but when you study them enough, it pops up a red flag when you hear them. And that, right?
You're right. You're
right. And it's like, you know, Robot on Lost in Space, danger, Will Robinson, danger. You know, I actually have a video. I'll send it to you guys. I have a judge stating that we don't speak English here. We speak legalese.
Do you know that you can, and I did this in Gunner's case, do you know that you can get your ADA rights and have them change the legalese to regular, to, you know, like layman's?
Oh, yeah. Terms. You know, but you gotta press it. And they don't like it when you correct them. I don't care what you're in, CPS, Title 4D. They hate being corrected. You know what I mean? And what's happening now is people, you know, you're bringing it to people's attention, but that Black's Law's Dictionary is one of the most powerful. Listen, I've got some serious weapons in my arsenal. That Black's Law's Dictionary is the most powerful and destructive weapon that any man or woman can have.
Yeah.
And which one do you have? Which one do you use?
I do the 4th and the 5th. I'm actually trying to get the collection of the 1st through the 3rd are really hard to find. And if you can find them, they're very expensive. But, you know, what's your freedom worth? You know, like if you see back there, I got the Pennsylvania Consolidated Statutes back there and all there. I got everything I need. You know what I mean? But where's that? My main weapon is this one right here. Okay. And you see how thick it is. I can probably almost tell you 3/4 of the words that are in here and tell you exactly what page that they're on. All right, and that's what people need to start doing, because if you think about it, I don't care what it's written under. You know, I don't care if it's the Constitution, I don't care if it's statutes. They're words, right? If you take the words away, what do they got? Nothing.
Yeah.
So if you master their words, by you mastering them words, you take them words away. It turns out the same way. Nothing. You know what I mean? And it's so easy to do. And I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound easy, but I've just been doing this for so stinking long. You know what I mean? It's like I don't have very many friends. You know, I got Tony, of course, she's my life partner. And but people who know me, when we talk, they watch what they say when they're around me, because they know it's like, oh, come on, man. You know,
that's good and bad, right? Like that's good and bad, isn't it? Like sometimes you're like,
and that's what you want, because you know, and it's like, yo, man, I don't think you know what that word means. Now, to us, it may mean one thing, but in the sense of how it's defined, it means something totally different. And basically, if we go back to it, that's what the Chevron deference is saying. We can't go off your interpretations. We have to go off the interpretations of what the law says. But you have to also interpret what that law actually says. And even if it's a law, okay? This world is full of words, and every word has a definition. And that is where our power comes from. So when you master their language, you know, I spent like 7 years in Europe. My German is not as fluent as it used to be, but I can still hold a conversation. And I was in Hawaii one time. Me and Tony, I took her to meet my kids and my grandkids, and it was a couple in the elevator, and they were speaking German. And most of the time, I don't know if you notice, I usually wear an unk, a very, very large unks that I cut, I carve. And they were, and they weren't saying anything derogatory, but they was like, wow, I've never seen a cross like that. And, they were speaking in German. And I'm sitting there smiling. And this is before, Tony realized that I actually spoke a different language. And then after they were done talking, because we were in a really high hotel, so we were going all the way to the bottom. After they got done talking, I responded in German, and the look on their face was like, "You understood? Du hast verstanden, was wir gesagt?" And it was crazy. And then we had listen, they bought us drinks and everything because they were so impressed. You know what I mean? But so when you do that to these officials, well, sir, you're charged. Well, what credit card are you using? well, I don't remember charging nothing.
That's right.
Well, the person at hand. Well, the person is a person that's not such because they're human, but because rights and duties are attributes and are ascribed to them. Black's Laws Dictionary, page 13, bottom paragraph to the right. So when you hit them with that, it flusters them. And I'm not trying to be funny because I've actually never dealt with a black judge. They've all been, Caucasians. And, I don't know why they call us color people, because white folks turn all kind of colors when they get mad. Look, this stays one color unless I'm pissed off. I do turn red on certain incidents.
And what the hell is a Caucasian?
According to the ancient scripts, they come from the Caucasus, the mountains of Caucasus. It's.
I don't know if you made that up or not.
No. Literally, look it up. And they're actually, and no disrespect to anybody, but they're actually labeled as Caucasoids. You got Negroids, Caucasoids. It's just crazy language.
You know what you get? You know what you get when you cross a penis with a potato?
A good night.
A dictator.
Huh?
A dictator.
Pretty much. And a smiley face.
Yeah.
Hey, bring me some potatoes up here. So you guys are on point. I was just telling Tiff earlier, I just started chipping away. We got our computer system back online. We did lose a lot of data. But I was able to save some of it. And we're still working on retrieving some of it. But we are working on a documentation for you guys, specifically for you guys, to break down that Title 4E program. Remember, I was explaining to you. Oh, I got you. And we're going to have a good time. What is that?
That's all my lifelong work right there. That's what was in my safe.
Oh.
That's all of my memory cards, all of my stuff right there.
Brother, it sucks. And, I remember I got raided, about 3-4 years ago. They made up some chump charges, and they came in. I had a different office than the one I'm in now. And they came in and they took everything. Servers, old cell phones, the whole 9 yards. I sat in jail for the weekend. And the cool part was I was the only one in jail that wasn't mad. Number one, it was look, I slept.
That's the one thing that's to be said for jail. That first 3 or 4 days, man, that's nap time.
Dude, that's all it was for me. I was in there for like 4 days. They got me on the weekend, so they did that shit on purpose. But I slept.
Of course
but the cool part was when I got out, people were, we got, residuals coming in. So, I got back to my office. So I noticed, and I felt a little violated. You know what I mean? Because somebody had been into my realm. So what I did was I went ahead and hired some people, moved out of that. The next day I went and bought another property, and I bought new servers and new computers. That's the one that actually just died. And, I was online the next day and they were pissed, like, you ain't stopping no show. Okay. I know your words. I know your language. Your law, it ain't natural law. It's not the law of the land. CPS is not law of the land. None of traffic, none of that shit's law of the land. All right.
How do we get that to be enforced, though? How do we make this stop? How do we make this stuff stop so that they're not winning like they are? I know I don't even have those anymore. Yep. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's what I'm saying.
That's how you make it stop. The problem with this
Yeah,
country,
I understand. I get
the
it.
problem with this country is the government doesn't fear us.
Mhm.
You know, we could have put heads to bed a long time ago, but we have no soldiers anymore. People are so are suffering from the cognitive dissonance. They're scared. I was doing a class a week ago, and we got into the discussion of driver's license and vehicle registrations and shit like that. I said, well, here's a catch. If everybody in one state or in all states, they took the license plates off the car, the registration forms, and then they all went to the motor vehicles parking lot and threw them in there, what are they going to do?
Nothing.
We're allowing it to happen. All right. And y'all know me. Y'all know I will say the same shit over and over because it's real. We're the problem, not them. Fear.
Yeah.
Scarface, you got it on your shirt. Tony Montana ain't taking no shit. He came to this. Look, I know it was Fable, but he came over here and he handled it.
Yeah.
He did the job.
Damn right. Tony Montana.
Right. And
Tony Montana, baby.
Let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
It took a long time. You gotta learn.
He got shit done. People fear him. People fear Tony Montana.
Yeah.
You know, like, but they loved him too on the same end. That's the thing. Like Pablo Escobar, look at all of these greats that have been like these big narcotic dealers. Their communities loved them.
Sure.
They gave back to their communities. They weren't big and bad and dangerous to these communities. They gave.
Yeah, they take care of them.
Yeah, that's what they did. They didn't do anything. I mean, well, you take away the narcotics part of it, but whatever. You know, like, that's their trade. It is what it is. People are making choices, good, bad, whatever. That's their choice. You know, no one ever, you know, held a gun to your head and said, "Hey, blow a line of cocaine." You know what I mean? I don't think anyway. So, you know, like whatever. But like that's what these things do. What our government doesn't do to us is give back to us and make us feel that, you know, like you don't see, you know, days of the mafia. They would walk out on the street. Carlo Gambino, all those guys would be out on the street, you know, handing out bread and tomatoes and, you know, other stuff to, you know, like they were somebody.
They took care of the neighborhood.
Right. And our government doesn't.
Let me give you a case in point.
You know, what happened to police riding around? You know what? Riding around, making sure your neighbors knowing everybody's name. No, now there's kids run away from that. You know?
And then, you know, they respected it. They knew not to come to that part of town. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, don't go over in that block doing that, bro. You'll come up missing. You know, one of the big points that I've always said is when you know, Tiff, every time I come across a good video, I always send it to you. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I always, it's like, all right, let me send this to Tiff. But just imagine if CPS decide to knock on the door, and you know they always bring a couple of feral hogs with them. All right, but just imagine that the person's door that they're knocking on is able to call another person in the community, and the whole community comes out armed.
What do you do? Right. What are you going to do?
They're going to leave. Okay. Case in point, somebody gets pulled over. Everybody on the highway stops with their video cameras. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It's us. I mean, you know what I mean? And that's the problem. That is the problem. We you know, people are scared.
Okay, so we outline the problem. How do we turn this into a volatile solution? How do we make this a real solution?
Brother, without proper forces, you know, Tiff is a beast, you're a beast, I'm a beast. But you know, we're single entities, you know, separated by vast distances. You know, if we had the rest of the people behind us and vice versa, you know, we could make a difference on this planet. And I mean, not just here, that's in every country, you know, but, you know, I lived in Europe, like I said, for like 8 years. And I tell you what, I loved it over there. It's nowhere near like over here. Case in point, like you get in Europe, I was in the military. All right. But I was in Germany for a little while, but in Europe, like when you get a ticket, you pay your ticket on the spot. Ain't no going to court. Ain't no, you know what I mean, taking time off from work and all that other stuff. It's like, all right, man, you messed up. Just like pay a little $10 your little $5 fine, and they're not, stupid expensive. Because if you notice, if you go over there, the crime rate in Europe is not high. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got shit that goes on over there, but not like we got over here.
And they just started carrying guns recently, for God's sake.
Who's that?
The cops over in Europe. Most of them, I mean, they had their special forces guys, but the rest they carried the whistles.
Yeah. Well, that's in Britain. But in Germany, they carry Glocks, and they carry Heckler and Koch MP5s over there. So you know what I mean. They're ready for anything. But there's the people get along. Government is government, but there's the regulatory force is there's rules and regulations everywhere that you go, but their regulatory force is so laid back. You know what I mean? Because the crime rate is not that bad. Now, I lived in Hawaii for 20 years. When I lived in Hawaii for that time, that was back in the, I think, 80s, there was hardly any crime. Nobody, every now and then somebody got murdered. They were making, now Hawaii is oppressive because they make their money off of traffic laws and, of course, that high-ass property value. Matter of fact, I had two daughters that were living there, and my ex-wife was still there. They were paying $5,000 a month for a fucking house. And then they finally, because over there, supply and demand. Well, you don't like it, leave. That's how it goes over there. Gas is like $7 a gallon over there. All right, but they finally, and I kept telling them, I said, listen, you're working to just pay somebody else. You're making somebody rich. Right. And now they move over here. She's got a house that's twice as big, and she's only paying like $800 a month for it. And
yeah, well, I mean, how much gas do they need to have in Hawaii?
You ever seen traffic in Hawaii, brother?
4 miles. No, I've never been.
Traffic in Hawaii, you'll burn at least a tank of gas just trying to get during rush hour, morning rush hour, and evening rush hour. I don't know if you've ever been to California. All right.
I've done that one. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay,
that was nasty.
Traffic in Hawaii, because remember, it's an island. You can only go so far.
That's what I'm saying. It's like 3 miles.
It's a 4 mile square radius. And it's you can get around I'm sorry. I take that back. It'll take you 4 hours to get around the entire island. I can't remember because I was on Oahu. That's not one of the biggest, but it's it's a beautiful place. But now they have gangs there. There's murders there. And things have gotten out of control. And because it's so expensive. But here's the catch. If you want to be homeless in Honolulu, because you can go get some fruit off of any tree.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And look, other than their rainy season, which is like November to January, give or take, I've never seen that before. It rained for 42 days straight.
Oh, yes. My God.
Yes. No, they have their rainy season. And matter of fact, I just found out there the North Shore of the island was actually flooded for a little while. I think that island is actually sinking. But the point that I want to prove is that when we come together collectively, because remember in the Constitution it says we the people we got the right to abolish government. All right.
We don't have the right. We have the obligation. We have the obligation, not the right.
Right, exactly. That is an obligation, but we haven't done it.
Right.
That January 6th thing at the Capitol.
Yeah, the insurrection.
Yeah, that was perfection. And I don't understand how
that was exactly what's supposed to happen.
But how the hell are people getting convicted for exercising that constitutional right?
Yelling at Donald Trump, saying he incited that. He should have been. That's the one thing I wish that he would have stood up and said, I damn well should have done that or whatever.
Well, he did incite it, but that was for his own agenda. But the fact of the matter is that the people were right. And if that happened, just imagine if every person in every state went to the state capitol, especially when they're in session, start kicking some doors in, all right, and start doing some things are going to change.
With the quickness.
Yeah. Look at it like this. We got kids. Tiff, you got kids, you got grandkids. I got kids, I got grandkids. Darren, I'm not sure if you have kids or anything, but we rule. When mom and dad says goes. And that's how the government treats us under Parens Patria, parent of the state. I don't need all that, and the people don't need all that. What needs to happen? I know you guys saw the videos of the fire that the guy started over there in California because they wasn't making enough money.
No,
that big giant warehouse, the guy filmed himself lighting. If you get a chance, go on and look at it. He torched the whole building. He torched the whole building. And I put, matter of fact, it was funny too, because I put on there, I said, yo, dude, why don't you go to Congress and then to the White House next? Matter of fact, Facebook came back on me on that one, was like, hey, yo, man.
He put you in jail. Yep, put you right in Facebook jail.
I really don't care. But they're trying to give him 10 to life. And basically, the cost of living in California is pretty much the same as Hawaii. I mean, like, I own 4 houses. And the houses that I actually own would probably be worth millions on the West Coast. Over here, I'm in Pennsylvania. They ain't worth shit. You know what I mean? I'm up at the foot of the Appalachians. You know what I mean? It's spooky up here. But people got to start. I don't care if it's CPS. I don't care if it's traffic court. I agree that there's nothing wrong with some rules. The 10 Commandments, the 42 laws of the mod. You don't get the right to go out and harm people and do dumb shit. But on the same level, like, just because you do something that the government doesn't like, it costs you. It costs you. I seen a guy walk out of court one day, and I swear to God, he looked like he was about to jump out the window. Thousands and thousands. Look, over something stupid. I can't even remember what it was, but I was like, dang, you gonna let that judge get away with that, dude? You know what I mean? But it's just they're so nitpicky and they're so greedy, and the control that they want. I've never seen. You want to see some scared ass people, some cowards? Go to court. Oh yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Fuck. When I walk, if I have to go to court, be like, oh man, who told this guy to come down here? Bailiff, get his ass out the courtroom. They don't fear us, and that's why, and look, I'm not, and no disrespect to CPS is. I don't know if you realize this. CPS is 98% women. Okay, 98% women. You mean to tell me some little short fat chick and her fat girlfriend is going to come to my house and tell me I'm going to do welfare check on your kids? Well, look here. I am an equal opportunity ass whooper. You ain't doing shit. And I don't care if they was, big, tall men. But you notice, and case in point, the 4D crime families, 98% of them are ran by women. Half of those women are divorced single moms who hate men. And CPS, and I did a little research on that. And the CPS is the same thing. But both of it comes down to federal funding, how much dollars they can bring in. Okay. And if the people do not get together collectively as one, right, and do something about it. And I say it, I'm going to keep saying it every time I'm on here. All right. If we can't make examples out of some of these people to make the rest of their friends say, I don't think we should do that. Okay. Now, granted, don't mean you get to go rob no banks and do the purge shit that you see on the movies, but that's an issue, and it makes me sick. You know what I mean? And I hear it all the time. I talk to people all the time. Oh man, they did this. I said, well, what'd you do? Nothing. You know what I mean? They don't fear retaliation from us.
What is it worth to you? Because if you and I go running into a building and say we're going to take this shit down, who's going to look back and who's going to be there for us?
Nobody. That's why I wouldn't do it. Now, I will take up a good position high up with that Leopold scope and some good cover.
Some Chris Kyle on their ass.
You know what I mean? Right. I send my drone. I got drones. I have some very expensive drones. I send my drones over the police department almost every morning because I want to see who's coming and going. And they know it's me.
Really?
I want to see what's happening. And then, like, if I have to go down to a court, or if I have a client that goes down to the court, I always tell them, I said, yo, man, you need to go down there the day before and do a reconnoiter. You need to find a way. You need to see where all the exits are. In this case, you got to break, man. You need to way out of there. You don't just walk into somewhere and you don't know, and if you have to escape, you know what I mean? You need to know where all the exits are. You need to know where the secret exits are. And they got a lot of them in these courthouses. You know what I mean? You need to, plan it all out. But these people, what's making it bad. And, and we, y'all have the best intentions. I have the best intentions. But, I mean, what good is a pond of water if you can't lead the horse to drink out of it?
That's right. That is right. That's it. And if they're not paying attention.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it should be a wonderful world out here. We should all be, regardless of what color, what we believe in, man, every Sunday we should be cooking out and having a nice time and enjoying everybody's company, but they've made this world into a place where it's like, it's just they made it so we can't focus on our cause. I'll tell you a little something. We are made in the image and likeness of a God, right? In this book called Genesis, down in 1:26, it said, God said, right? And that was it. So, and it was more than one God. It said, let us create man in our image and likeness, which is fine. All right, no disrespect to the women, but if we're created in the image and likeness of a creator who can actually speak things into existence, the government has gotten so good to distract people that they don't do that. Nobody, and everybody's scared. My mom is 81 years old, and God bless her, I love her to death, but she has an old slave mentality. And it's not her fault, because she grew up in the 40s and the 50s, you know what I mean? And that's how they were raised. But I tell her, I said, Mom, this is not that type of generation anymore. That generation is gone. But now it's a slave mentality. These feral hogs are doing things that are like disgusting. I know you guys saw the one about the cop that killed the guy with the cooler in New York. You see that one? All right. There was a drug deal. A drug dealer sold some drugs to an undercover cop and tried to escape on a moped. And so the cop, to prevent him from escaping, if they were at a park, and he literally grabbed somebody, a cooler who was picnicking, and hit the guy with it, and it killed him. And now everybody's saying he's doing 9 years to life or something to that matter. But now everybody's saying, oh, well, he was trying to stop a drug deal. It doesn't give you the right to kill somebody. Everybody uses drugs. Everybody's got a cabinet full of drugs. They don't go raiding the pharmaceutical companies. You ever see the ads late at night? Impreza. And then they start talking real fast. Well, taking this drug will give you kidney failure.
You'll die.
Your genitals are going to fall off, and you'll never be able to eat again. But consult with your doctor.
Always at dinner time.
Hey, listen, I'm a smoker. Tiff, you're a smoker. At least they put a warning on the goddamn box. All right.
Tell us we're stupid.
And me and Tony was watching TV the other day, and we always see them, and it's funny. I was like, damn, man, you might as well just stay fucked up. And that's what the big, the pharmacy companies are doing it. I mean, our food is screwed now. There's, literally no healthy food unless you're growing your own shit. And they're, these people, they're billions, and they're making billions off of us, and yet we're just letting them do it. I'm not going to go out there and risk my life. Look, check this out. When the war comes and everybody's ready, I'll be the first one on the front lines. I promise you. But I'm not going to be the only one out there. You turn around, everybody's going, well, okay, you got a problem. What was it? Shrek. The guy says, stay back now. Yeah. And he says, we're going to kill you. He said, you and what army? You didn't turn around, everybody's gone. You know what I mean? And I have grandkids, so yes, I watch Shrek. And I watch it even when they're not here. But that's the problem. And I teach and I teach and I teach and I teach. as far as I'm concerned, I've been doing this, like I said, close to 40 years. All right, it shouldn't be nobody on paying Title 4D. All right, and you guys been teaching this. It shouldn't be nobody who's subject to CPS. They shouldn't even exist. Now, granted, I've always said it. If a little human offspring is being abused, and I have seen that, yes. All right, by all means. But this shit that they're doing, all right, with CPS, what else they got? Title 4E, that's Title 4E, with Title 4D, traffic, all this shit. And if they're getting away with it, this is what I always told people. When people got warrants out, they're scared to go out, right? Because they don't want to get, caught. But when we start putting bounties on them, they'll be scared to come to work. And if they don't, they can work from home. But here's the catch. They know where you live. How come you don't know where they live? They got all your information. They know how many kids you got, right? They know what kind of car you got. How come you don't have that information about them? When we can start doing that, when we get the information that we need, and then like on child support, I hate that word, but they have every couple of years they have they do these sweeps, right? And they come in like about 10 sheriffs deep, and they surround the house, right? We need to be doing the same thing. We need to be doing the same thing, and they're not. And it's deterring, it's disheartening, and it's sad. You know what I mean? And I love the Chevron deference. I love everything that I read, but it's like you might as well just stand to a wall sometimes and just read it to the wall, because it's almost like the same thing. You know what I mean? And we, obviously we want people to be free from this tyranny and oppression. You know what I mean? We don't want, but here's the catch, just like with this ICE bullshit, separating, but they made a big complaint about them separating families, but nobody says anything about CPS. Remember that big issue?
That's right. If they can rogue it, man, they can do whatever they want.
But that's the problem. The only reason they're doing whatever they want, because we ain't fucking stopping. Listen, I found an ant in my house and I killed it. Why? Because I know it was a scout. And man, it happens. I don't care where you live at. You're going to get some varmints and some critters that come in. But I killed it. Why? Because I don't want him going back and reporting, yo, man, I found a couple crumbs on the floor. Bring everybody up.
Yeah, all their antennas.
Yeah, they send a signal. So you got to nip shit in the bud. Tiff, I know you know that one. That's an old school. All right. And nobody's nipping anything in the bud. You know what I mean? You got this Congress. Case in point, this war that's going on. I mean, Congress approved this shit. We ain't got nothing to do with what's going on over there. I feel for the people. But you don't see no other country coming to our aid, when seems now the mass murder. There are murders over here, but not like, the genocide over there. They ain't coming over here getting into nobody else's business. What needs to be happening is we need to be fixing home. Right? But, the Rothschilds war means money, that they're funding both sides. $100,000 missiles dropping down all day. Man, you know how many people you can put in houses for that kind of money? You know how many people you can feed? You know how many apartment buildings that you can build, where people can live? Case in point, Muammar Gaddafi. Listen, them people over there in Libya, they have free medical. They had, when you got married, they gave you a piece of property. They gave you some money. You know what I mean? They paid for your, now they had a rule. You had to do like 2 years in the military, which I think is fair. But after that, pretty much everything was free. That's why they killed him. Tiff, you look like you about to spit it out. Go ahead and say it. So, that's not what they want. They want tyranny. They want oppression. They want us under their boot. I'd love to get down south, down with them rednecks, them real rednecks. Them real rednecks. Like, look, man, I understand, but guess what? I'm here to fight along with you. Because they'll fight. Nobody's fighting, man. You know, you got resistances out here. And again, I'm going to say it, and people don't realize it. A war is inevitable. It's coming. All right. And it has to happen. Did you see that movie, Civil War?
I did not.
You get a chance.
I'm going to check it out. You got a list of movies I got to watch.
When it just came out, man. When you get a chance, Google it, and you can go on YouTube and watch the snippets. Americans got tired, and a war came across. And my favorite part at the end, they was looking for the president, and they got in the White House and smoked all his guards and executed that clown on the spot because he was the one causing all the trouble. You know, but a war is coming. All right. And, you know, it's going to have to, there's going to be bloodshed. There's going to be, you know, they're going to be turning off the water. They're going to be, you know, everything is going to turn into a no man's land out here. And then, of course, you know, these sickos out here who don't have are going to be, you know, doing the other sick things, kicking in people's doors, you know, and it's going to get bad out here before it gets better. But unfortunately, in my position, it has to happen. This country, this government, all right, this country that we're in, it's going to have to fall, and it's going to have to rise out of the ashes. And when it does that, I don't think it's going to be in our generation, you know, but if it is, you know, because I'm getting old now, I ain't got the, you know, the stamina I got. All I got is a lot of ammo and some good ass scopes. I can't look. I ain't running down the street.
I ain't climbing the wall neither.
You know what I mean? Look, I got to catch my breath walking up the goddamn steps.
That's right. You got a cigarette going, man. I'm fucking out of boob over here, you know.
You know, and you know, so I hope people are listening to the sound of my voice. We got to get prepared. We got to get prepared spiritually. All right, we got to get prepared mentally. We got to start stockpiling because it's not getting, you know, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s. All right. That's when the universe first meant something. You know what I mean? And life was a lot simpler back then, but government still had a noose around our necks. They were just, you know, trying to figure it. And now, what is it, 2026? Shit, 60 something years later. This is some funky shit out here.
Still saying the same things, though, you know, still saying the same
man.
things.
And it breaks my heart, man. I got a black ass heart, and Tiffany, you put a big bright spot in that today when I got that flag. All right. You know, nice. Even Tony said, "Oh my God, you're so numb." I said, "Babe, you know, I do this for a living. I listen to this crap all day." It's like, all right. And I've gotten so good at conversations. It's like I can cut off that conversation because they're being all the negativity. All right, let me cut that off and I'll reroute the conversation to what we need. But it's a sad time out here, folks. And, you know,
it really
it's and I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's CPS. If the people don't take a stand and start doing something about it and start, you know, we're the ones who can make change, you know, but it's going to have to be some blood spill. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just that time, man. You know, like maybe it's just time that we do it. Maybe this.
Did you know that there's a case law? There's case laws that actually say that it is not the job of the police of the United States to protect you. They are only there to protect the corporations and generate revenue for them. And that's case law. I'll find it for you. I'll send it to you, but it's bad. Oh, guess what else I found? I didn't find it, but I just recovered it. All right, the Social Security Administration. Y'all know what that is, right? Okay.
Yes,
is that a federal agency?
No, it's its own, right? It's its own little.
It's independent,
thing, is it not?
Did you know it was owned by the British Crown?
I did.
Is it really?
I did. I told Darren that.
Huh?
I told Darren that. I said that's why they talk about the king and the queen so much, because they hold the Social Security Administration. They hold all of that.
They own it.
Yeah, that right. I told Darren that. He was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah."
And then I forgot it, and I just relearned it.
It is called. Matter of fact, I'll send you a copy of it. It's called the Statutory Instrument 1997, number 1778, the Social Security Order 1997. All right, British Crown copy 1997. That contract is basically the Social Security Administration is like an insurance company. All right, it's owned by Great Britain. They got one in Northern Ireland. They got one in Britain. And they got one in the United States. Now, here's the catch. How is it that you ever notice when these presidents go over to Britain, what do? They bow. Don't no leader of no country bow to no man or woman. Oh, well, you got to bow to the queen. I ain't bowing to that bitch. You crazy, man. I don't bow to nobody. Well, I bow to Tony when she gets her. And you too, Tiff, because you're my buddy. But it's, man, so it's just like with Israel, all the shit. Israel's got so much control because of the oil and everything. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting what these people are doing. And
I don't understand that stuff. I don't understand that whole
yeah, but you know what? It's more disgusting because we, and I say that as the collective, because, again, I'm not going out there by myself. I ain't going to last long. You know what I mean? I can take all the ammo I want. I'm not going to last long. I'm going to get picked off. And everybody going to be like, yo, that motherfucker was crazy.
Yeah. You that black man right there like that? Oh, shit.
Yeah, little Cyrus there. Oh, well. All right, man. Well,
there you go, right there. Osiris got his flag out. He's going to take down the whole damn. I'm
going to still watch his videos, though.
Yeah. You don't pay for his webinar, too.
So, but listen, guys. Yeah, the Chevron deference, I'll send you what I have on it. It is a good doctrine. The other thing is based off the Chevron deference. You want to look at the laws of statutory construction. Okay. And then the other thing you want to do is you want to tear down every word, every synonym, every preposition, you know what I mean? And get a basic working knowledge. And more importantly, it's time to start striking fear. I think I said, Tiff, I send you videos all the time. Like I saw the one where the guy came outside and it was two women and the sheriff was standing in the background. It's like, man, why are you even talking to them? Just shut the door. What you bring them for? They ain't gonna do nothing but get in the way. You know what I mean? And people, and like I said, when this happens, the case is like I said, if people on the highway see somebody getting pulled over, right? Don't just keep going. Everybody stop. What do you think that cop's going to do? He can call all the backup he wants, right? Because they ain't got so many cops. You got thousands of people riding up on that highway. You stop and you put it to an end. When CPS comes to the house, you know what I mean, for that BS, you call the neighborhood watch and everybody shows up. If that happens, then it's like, oh man, I ain't doing no more CPS runs. Last time we did that, 400 people showed up. Yep.
I am the neighborhood watch over here. Everybody got my phone number in this neighborhood.
There it is. But that's what we need. And you guys are doing a great job of teaching, man. And as far as the rights, the average person right now has no clue of their rights. Literally. I ask people all the time, well, have you read the Constitution? No. I'm like, all right. Now I got to charge you more because you got to make me work harder.
Right. Now you just made me stupid.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's what needs to happen. I mean, we love our families. We love our children. I have all girls. So, that was a curse on me. God said, oh, you want to be a playboy? I got something for you. You want all the women you can handle? Here's your own personal harem.
Hey, any man can whittle a stick. Takes a real man to make a box.
Yes, sir. But three daughters, that's a grave. and bankruptcy.
Yeah.
But
yes, sir. And probably a stroke.
Yeah. Well, look, it's cool now because look, I got great grandkids. I got grandkids that are like 30 years old. But here's the catch: they all married off. Yeah, they already know it. You better not come on. You got a husband. I don't want to hear it. But yeah. I think, I don't think the way that it is right now is, and when you get a chance, just go on. I don't care if it's YouTube or Facebook or one of them. All the platforms are showing it right now. And the guy, this is what cracks my head. They were a warehouse for tissue products and toilet paper. And incidentally, if the price of toilet paper goes up, this is probably why. But yeah, so because I can get a 36 roll of Family Dollar for like $10. If I go in next week and that shit is like $32, I'm gonna be pissed off. But he got fed up. Now I'm not saying what he did was right. And then the bad part was he filmed himself doing it. But the way that I saw it, he's in California. He was about to lose everything. He said, I can go to jail and get 3 hots and a cot and all the medical I want. I ain't got to be out here hustling and bustling. And he lit a pack of matter of fact, with Charmin. Don't squeeze the Charmin, right? He lit that pack of toilet paper because he said all y'all had to do was just pay us so we can live. He lit that shit on fire. And when you see that destruction that it caused, it burnt down the entire warehouse. And this is like the third one that has gotten burned down. People are like really getting fed up. But here's the catch. Don't go tearing up our resources. Go down to the damn county buildings and do that shit. You know what I mean? Go to the courthouse. Go, go to the legislature. Go to the state capitol. Burn their shit down.
Right? Don't doing it to some mom and pop warehouse.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No, that wasn't a mom and pop warehouse. That was not. That was over 100. The warehouse itself was valued at 150 million, and then the stock that was inside was worth 500 million. So basically, they got a nice insurance claim, is what they got.
My only suggestion is make sure it's a federal building, because if you don't like that prison, you can travel.
You know what? Yeah, they definitely gonna travel, and that's my my thing exactly. Yo, man, go to these alphabet gangs. You know what I mean? Go to the legislature. Go to the court. Like, remember the riots after the Rodney King incident and the George Floyd thing? Why would you tear up your own neighborhood? Go to their neighborhood and tear that shit up.
Never understand that. Never ever understand that.
Really, and that's what they want. And they're sitting up there in their $30 million mansions, sipping on that good cognac, smoking them good Cuban cigars. Like, look at them. Look at them. They're animals.
That sounds nice.
They tear up their own neighborhood. And for some reason, it's like, well, we know they ain't coming over here. They're scared.
Right. They're not crossing that threshold, so don't worry about it. We're fine.
They're scared. They're tearing up their own shit. So that's, it's got to stop, but it's not going to. And I observe a lot. And I know you guys do too. I know you see it. You know what I mean? Darren, what you just went through, you know what I mean? And, again, they just, we need to put some fear in their hearts. They don't fear us.
It's the facts.
They don't fear us. That's why that's why they do what they do. That's why these cops get away with murdering unarmed people at traffic stops. And that's why, the IRS can come and take all your shit. And, they can put a boot on your car if you don't pay the ticket. And, just everything, anything they can do to make your life miserable for a stinking lousy dollar. And all it's doing is making them rich. These cops are out here making 6-figure salaries, man. You know what I mean? The average judge, I mean, a district court judge, they make what, $150,000 a year?
Yeah, $150 easy. Yeah.
Prosecutors making probably more than that. Because it's the prosecutor who's running the whole case. He's the one who runs the case. Ain't got nothing to do with the judge. That's why, look, the prosecutors need to be the first ones to go. Well, Your Honor, he was driving without a license, and we want him to pay a $10,000 fine and spend a week in jail. Are you fucking crazy? Because you don't have a piece of paper. That's too much power for one human being to have. You know what I mean? We're parents. When our kids get out of line, we got that power. Okay? That's what should be done. Spare the rod, spoil the child. But they shouldn't have that type of power over us.
No, but they got it, and we let them have it.
Well, all governments derive their just power from the consent of the governed. So we're, everybody's consented. You know what I mean? So it is. Listen, it's cool. People, look, when that war hits and it's coming, I'm telling you, it's coming. And here's the funny part: is this country has done so much dirt in other countries. They're all plotting against this country, man. They are all plotting against this country. Some shit is going to hit the fan. There's never been a war fought, well, other than the civil wars and stuff like that. But, you know, back then, you know, that's a whole nother thing. But now they got, you know, some shit's coming, man. And there's going to, you know, and instead of people just sitting down and saying, hey, man, you know, why don't we do this? You know, let's, you know, something positive. You know, it's all ideas. It's all beliefs. So you can change an idea. You can't change a belief. People die for what they believe in. Look at the Muslims. They'll put on that bomb and go out there. All right. That's a belief. But an idea, you can always change an idea. And instead of sitting down with all the hostility and trying to take over someone else's whatever, well, we think you should be doing this. Well, obviously you ain't getting paid to think because you don't even belong here. But, you know, man, there's no good relations. I mean, look, China owns all the debt. You know, I mean, if China decided to come over here, China would wipe America out.
They got more people than anything. They just sit in there. You can't even kill them all.
I mean, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? They got more tanks and all that other stuff. And I think eventually, when the time comes, like I said, it's gonna come bad. And you know, it is what it is. I know it's coming. I've smoked for years, so either or, I'm out of here, whether the war comes or not. All right, but you know, my thing is this: when they come up on my backyard, I'm taking as many as I can with me. You know, it's we need love and we need peace and we need sanctity in this and all around the world. You know what I mean? Because outside of that, I'm in hell. If it wasn't for the fact that you can't go to Antarctica, I'd probably go out there and just live.
Yeah, it's probably nice.
Yeah, you know, like not to mention they got all those underground bases. You know, Tiff, Tony always says, "Oh my God, you never leave you go from your house to the office." I said, "Babe, in here I reign supreme. I ain't got to worry about nothing. You live in your own little world." I said, "In here, yes, that's why I keep my butt in here, because I feel unsafe outside." Because you know, it's funny how red, white, and blue is supposed to represent freedom, right? Until that shit's flashing behind your damn car.
Yeah, facts. That's take away that freedom. You're damn right.
And I think it's ironic that they actually use those colors, man.
I never even thought about that. That's crazy.
You're free. You chilling. You get pulled over. Oh, you got a license plate light out. Next thing you know, you're in the hospital in critical condition because you and the cop didn't see eye to eye. Yeah. And they're probably some of the most hostile people. I've met a couple.
And you're handcuffed to the bed. Yeah, you're handcuffed to the goddamn bed.
You know what I mean? So it's.
I've been there.
I just, you know, if I had my way, I would. If I got a genie and said I get 3 wishes, what I would do is I would wish that every weapon, like guns and all these tanks, all this military shit, would be don't exist. Let it go back to the old days with swords and clubs.
Oh no! Oh Jesus, maces and stuff.
Yeah. Go back to the William Wallace days. But here's the catch. See,
that shit hurt.
But and them dudes died hard. But think of it like this: if you don't want to die, that means you got to be practicing your skills.
Yeah, you better go be a fucking magic man or something.
You better be something. Because I'm just
basket maker or whatever you need to do.
But that would be the first wish I made. No weapons. Now, how you going to declare? Look, you ain't got no weapons. How you going to declare war on some place that's 18 hours away or 4,000 miles away? It ain't gonna happen. Y'all just got to be mad at each other.
Or you're trying to take 3 years to freaking get there.
Well, yeah, here's a catch. I always say this: if Russia and China ain't getting along, then let Putin and whoever runs China get in the ring and may the best man win.
Putin kick everybody's ass. Putin, that's a man right there. That's a man.
I'd love to see him punch Trump right in the mouth. Pow.
I don't know if I want to go that far, but
you know what I mean.
I am not in Maine anymore. CIA, just so you know.
I don't. And I'm no longer in Pennsylvania.
Right.
It's going to take me like I said, we just got the computer system back online. We got another system and that crashed. Then we had another system. So we're still uploading data. But I did happen to save my notes from what I was working on for you guys. With the Title 4E, and that was the first thing I saved. I said, nope, can't let this go because I've been putting too much time in it. And then once it's done, I said, give me a minute though. Like I said, probably maybe mid-May, I'll send you both a copy, and then I'll get on here. I'll make sure I get some good sleep because it's like I said, it's way past my bedtime. Yeah, by 7 o'clock, I'm usually in a coma because I started 3 in the morning.
Yep, I see the little green light on.
And I want you guys to keep educating, keep staying positive, and keep giving the negatives where the negatives need to be. Okay. And we gotta, these people gotta get it. All right, because that's what's dooming us. It ain't the government, it's our unwillingness to fight back. All right. And it's just crazy. Tiff, you fight back. Darren, you fight back. I fight back. But I mean, goddamn, are we the only 3 people on the planet?
Yeah, and then they blow my house up.
Exactly. And I've been raided, and I can only imagine what they're plotting now. You can go on.
That means Tiff. So Tiff, you're shit out of luck.
Not really, because I've already told the prosecutor. If anything happens to me, I was not suicidal. Just know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No intravenous drugs. No suicide.
It's just, I don't have it, because of what I do for a living. You have, and if you go to your YouTube channel and look in the analytics, that you can actually find out who's watching your channel.
Like the people
who's actually watching your channel. You can see who is
up to help.
Right, you can see who has watched your videos. All right, I'll see if I can. I'll do a copy of it next time I go on. I've had FBI, I've had CIA, Homeland Security, the federal, all kind of federal offices. I even had somebody one time watch from the White House.
Oh, maybe the president.
I don't know who it was, but they know who I am. You know what I mean? But so they're always watching. They're probably watching this right now. I mean, they can. What is it? NSA now. They can go in our emails and read them. They can read our text messages.
They know everything. They can listen to our houses by the reverberation and wires. Yep. They do all kinds of stuff now.
We don't even have any privacy anymore. What was that boy's name that fled to Russia? Loudon? Snowden. I'm sorry. Snowden. Yeah, man. I mean, when he exposed it, look. At least he got up out of Dodge. He's like, all right, I'm exposing this, and I'm gonna leave it.
Isn't he stuck in the airport somewhere or something?
Because they was definitely gonna kill his ass.
Yeah, he's like in an airport or some in some country.
Yeah, he's he was in Russia. I don't know what happened to him. I think he's still alive.
I think he's alive, and I think Putin keeps giving him every 4 years. He has to get permission from Putin to be there.
Yeah, but with all the information he got, I don't think Putin minds him being there at all. Here, man, have some shrimp cocktail. Now, what else you got to tell us?
That's right. Keep it going, Snowden. Just let a little bit out each time.
I mean, if I had the resources, I would go and get me a little private island, and I'd live on it.
Yep, that's right.
And
my own laws, everything.
I've actually become inclusive because of all the shit that I said. Huh?
You got to be naked on the island.
At work.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of marks in the sand, but it's cool.
That 3-legged beast walking through the sand.
No, man, is there somebody on this island? No, it's just me. Why is there 3 footprints? You don't want to know. I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Is that a cane?
Oh my God. I'm so punchy right now. It's not even funny. Hey, listen, though, I am going to thanks for the time, guys. So everybody, and let everybody know my team is working on this Title 4E document for you guys, and you'll have it. And look, it's gonna expand your knowledge, it's gonna expand your base, and it'll help people in situations. And when we get done with it,
as long as it helps one, that's all that matters.
And when you get done with it, I mean, you know, you'll be masters of it, and you'll be able to teach it fluently. And when I get done with you, you will be destroyers, CPS destroyers.
Oh, as long as we get a certificate, right?
Sure. Buy one, get one free.
That's right. I'll make it up for us.
buy a 12-pack, get one free. You can get whatever you want.
That's right.
But, you know, this knowledge is important. You know what I mean? And that's why when I first started, you know, interacting with you guys, I actually started working on it. It's just my schedule is so really crazy. You know, it's like my own personal stuff I haven't even had a chance to work on. Like I said, Tiff, we got a website coming out, but I haven't even had time to finish that. So, you know, and I've had that. I've you know, we got the domain name back, and I've had it for like 3 months. Today I put in like about 20 minutes on it just to get the first page done, and I'm not even nowhere near being close.
Hey, have you heard of www.thecpspunisher.com?
That's the one you sent me a link to, the one that does the AI and everything. Yeah.
All right. I just
we know who you are, man. We be watching.
All right. We just want to make sure that everybody's got the tools.
That's all. That's what it is, man. And
that's right. We'll have to put your Title 4E stuff right in there. That's going to be part of it.
You can put it in there as a download. And like I said, we'll go over it. You know, worst case, we'll get together first if you want to, and then, you know, we'll go over it. And then, you know, what I want you guys to do is I want you to teach it. I want to be in your class. And, you know, you can pull people in and they can ask questions on it. You can do handouts. All right. Knowledge is power, because without it, we got nothing.
That's right.
And the CPS is there's some grimy bastards. Grimy. Grimy.
Sometimes the pen is mightier than the sword.
You know what? I'd rather go hang out with some crackheads living on the street than deal with the government. Literally, I'd rather go live in an alley somewhere where my life, I mean, because here, check it out. Either or, my life's still going to be in jeopardy because somebody over there wants something.
Right. And either way, no one's coming to look for you anyway. So what the hell?
Get off the grid, man. Let's start doing like they do in the movies and blow up my house and find a corpse to throw in here and get a death certificate. Just dip off.
Maybe that's what I should have done next time.
Oh man. All right, listen, guys. I love y'all. Tiff, I love you. Internet wife. Darren, my internet brother. I told Tony that. She's like, yeah, okay. But she knows who you are. So I was like, she said the white girl. I said, yeah, the girl. I said, oh, she said, okay. She really liked it too. She was very impressed with that. She said, too bad this guy's don't have a pot belly like you do. I said, well, you can only see his upper half, so it's good.
Oh shit. Hold on. I gotta show you something. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. You just reminded me of something. You're gonna love this. Saying what you just said. Hold on 1 second. Let me find this. Hey, where's that bag I came in?
What them little munchkins doing up so late, Tiff?
Hey, the bag that I came upstairs with. It was on the safe.
Oh, hey, Tiff, tell hubby when he's ready. All right. I will provide him everything he needs. I'm going to do that pro bono for him. I just need his information. Okay? That's my treat. I want y'all to be free. Are they still bothering him? Okay.
It's downstairs.
Let him know that I got him covered. Because, you know, I'm going to give you that because we family now. And I'm going to tighten him up. All right. And I'll give him the instructions. I can give him, you know, once I give him the weapons, me and him can sit down in a webinar. I'll show him how to use it. And he'll be done with them in about it's going to take a minute because you know how the court with their case laws and shit or case load. But I'll have him out of there sooner than later with a full refund. Oh, that boy ain't sleep.
All right,
there he is.
He's on his phone.
I got it. No, I had to go find these. Check this out. This is what you were just talking about right here. The dad bod.
Yeah. I got a grandpa bod, bro. I'm way past dad bod.
Hey, don't hate me because I'm a little cooler. And then the one I got for Tiff.
I have no filter. Damn right. You You know, I saw I dabble in t-shirts sometime, and I saw it was a press on, and it was really funny. It was a little bottle, you know, the salt shaker, and on the top it said salt with a deadly weapon. He had a gun in his hand, which I thought was funny as hell.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. That's great. I like that one a lot.
All right, listen, guys, I got to sign out of here. I will try to hook up with you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, hey, we'll go with you.
And I appreciate the time. I love you guys.
No, you're great.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
My adopted, awesome. my internet family has adopted me, and I love you guys.
Yep. And this song right here I made for Toll and Roll. So, hey, everybody, have a good night. Enjoy the tune. Renee, this one's for you. Good night,
good night, everybody. Love you, Mama Tiff, Brother Darren. Y'all stay good. Little munchkin back there. Get off the phone and go to bed.
That's my number one.
All right, let me get out of here. Y'all have a good one.
Where the guardians fell and the families cried for more. We loaded up the buses with the weary and the bold, headed east with a fire in our hearts, boys. We're gonna toll and roll. The system built its cages out of paper and lies. Took the children, took the elders under color of disguise. But the people rose together, put their boots upon the ground. From the redwood forest to the capital town, we're gonna toll and roll. Toll and roll, let the good times come. Toll and roll, till the battle's won. Audit the records, let the truth be told. We're the children of the Republic, and we're tolling, rolling down the road. We met in the desert, under wide open skies. Shared our stories round the fire, watched the sparks fly high. From CPS shadows to guardianship chains, we're breaking every link in the pouring rain with a toll and roll refrain. The lawyers and the judges, they hide behind their gowns, but the voice of the people is the thunder rolling down. We carry postcards, petitions, and a sacred bill of rights, singing freedom's old sweet song into the endless night. Toll and roll, feel the spirit rise. Toll and roll, under endless skies. From the OC to DC, let the message unfold. We're the remedy riders, and we're tolling, rolling down the road. Well, the wheel is turning and it won't slow down. Every mile we travel spins the truth around. From the ashes of injustice, a new day is born. We're the convoy of the righteous in the early morn. Now the halls of power, hear our footsteps drawing near. We come in peace, but we come without fear. With faith as our compass and justice as our guide, we stand for every mother, every father, every child. So raise your voice up higher, let the chorus ring. The Republic is calling, let the people sing. From sea to shining sea, hear the freedom call. We're the movement that's rising, and we toll
We know it's all about the money. We know they lie. We know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?
The CPSPunisher.com is the app they never wanted you to find. If CPS is knocking at your door, intimidating you as a parent with police standing there waiting for you to talk back so they can arrest you and steal your kids, stand strong, tell them you want to see their warrant, they will leave. Lessons like these can save your family and are exactly what the CPS Punisher assists you with. If your lawyer isn't fighting for your child, now you can research anything and everything, so you can be educated on the most up-to-date case law and court procedures. The CPS Punisher has more tools than Home Depot when it comes to recording data from your CPS case. Whether you need a timeline, log your visits, ask a question pertaining to the ADA, the CPS Punisher has it. Never again will CPS have the upper hand when you have the CPS Punisher. Visit the CPSPunisher.com.
They said don't fight the system. They said stay quiet.
They were wrong. Lock in. We are exposing what so many have failed to. We are going to show you what bar attorneys have hidden from all of us. Hundreds of thousands of children and twice that of parents have been lied to and walked down the road of termination. It's the death penalty. We're all of the protesters, the ones who fight for the rights of prisoners, dogs, illegal immigrants. Why aren't you coming to the aid of our children and families? Right here in America, every day a child per minute is kidnapped.
And no one cares. We fight alone until today. CPS Punishers mount up. Here comes the CPS Punisher.
Anonymous tip, another lie from one of them. No warrant, no proof, just a badge and a grin. Stealing kids like trophies, thinking they'll win. Mama crying on the porch, daddy in the cage. System wrote the script, but the CPS Punisher just flipped the page. The educator they banned, I see every violation, every forged line, every ex-part hearing, every stolen time. One tap of the app and the truth ignites. Welcome to the CPS Punisher, now we can fight.
CPS and the courts have lied to us all.
The courts will not disgrace the family. CPS Punisher, here to avoid the chains and expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Punisher, one tap and their empire cracks. We rise, we take our kids back. The app is called the CPS Punisher. I'm the cape in the shadows, the skull in the night, the binder full of secrets, the weapons you all need. Ab initio, watch me void that lie. Fourth Amendment armor, watch the tyrants cry. Falsified drug test gone in a flash. I see Tevio, warrior, due process king. Every parent's hero when the hotline rings. I call it justice. Download the truth, now the system busts us. From the courtroom to the streets, hear the battle cry. The CPS Punishers arrive. Kiss your bar asses goodbye. They tried to silence us, now we're the loudest voice in the room. CPS Punisher, here to avoid the chains and expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. This is resurrection. Open the app.
Step into the fight. You ready?
CPS Punisher. The app you need when they took your kid. CPS Punisher. The truth they hid, now the truth gets lit. Punisher. Download the power, take back the throne. Punisher. You're never alone.
CPS Punisher. The educator they never wanted you to find. Void complete. Family restored. The bar is finished. The Constitution will prevail. Judges do what's right. Treason is your penalty. Here comes the CPS Punisher.